So coming to the microscopy of licorice root, this diagram is the typical microscopical or transverse section of licorice stolon. So as in the morphology we already discussed that it is cylindrical in shape. So when we take the transverse section, obviously it will be round in shape. So at the topmost part of this diagram you can find a round color transverse section. So this is the transverse section of whole either roots or stolons. So the outermost part of this root is known as the peridotum. So inside which you will find the secondary xylem, secondary phloem, medullary rays, and at the center you will find the pith. Here I wish to mention one thing. In the biological source we have mentioned the licorice is obtained from either roots or stolons. So what are the basic difference between them? So almost root and stolons are same basically, but histologically if it contains pith then it is known as stolons. So if it is without pith then it is known as root. So this is the basic difference between roots and stolons. Generally to the external bud when the licorice root is grown, from there if we take the section then it generally contains pith, whereas if from the stick part, if we the cylindrical stick part, if we take the transverse section then pith generally found to be absent. So let us see what are the different things we are going to find. So first thing is the peridotum. So peridotum, it consists of phloem. Phloem means the cork. Botanically it is known as phloem. Phloem means the cork. So cork is several layered with tubular cells. The outer layer are filled with reddish brown contents and the inner few are colorless. So it consists of two layers. So outer layer is reddish brown in color, whereas the inner layer are colorless. Next is phloem. Phloem is indistinct. So maybe one or two cellular layer is there, but it is indistinct. Next is phloem. Phloem is very distinct, at least 3 to 5 layers of cell immediately after the cork is clearly visible. They are parenchymatous cells whose corners are thickened with cellulose. Means they are cholenchymatous in nature, so they contain cellulose. Some cells contain prisms of calcium oxalate crystals and very minimum quantity of starch grain. So this is regarding the phloem. Now next is secondary phloem region. So secondary phloem region is the wide zone with numerous concentrically arranged bundles of phloem fibers. So secondary phloem consists of phloem fibers. Each bundle is surrounded by parenchymatous sheath whose cells contain prisms of calcium oxalate and they are radially arranged. The radially fibrous bundle alternate with soft phloem elements and tangentially with medullary rays. So in secondary phloem region, so you will observe the medullary rays also. Coming to the medullary rays, it is very distinct. It is bi to multiseriate, means 2 cell to more than 2 cells of radially arranged parenchyma cells. In continuation with the xylem, moreover, so the medullary rays, as I mentioned, they are biseriate to multiseriate and contain parenchymatous cell. They are also present along with the xylem vessel. However, the medullary rays are narrower in xylem region and much more wider in phloem region. So these are the very important characteristic feature of the medullary rays. Coming to the next part is known as the secondary xylem. Secondary xylem is distinct, divided like phloem by large medullary rays at regular intervals. The xylem consists of vessels, fibers and lignified wood parenchyma. So this is another important characteristic feature of the transverse section of licorice. The vessels are peated thickening. So the vessels which are present in licorice are peated. The wood fibers are also present and starch grains are also found in this region. Next, if it is, as I mentioned, if it is stolen, then you will find the peat. Peat consists of the large parenchymatous cells with intercellular spaces and contain few starch grains, whereas peat is absent in root. So in the note it has been clearly mentioned, you can see root presents almost all the similar patterns like stolons except for peat. So these are the important histological characters generally found in the transverse section of licorice root. The diagram I wish to show you once again. So these are the characters you will